What's up, Planeswalkers? Theo6 back with some more Magic the Gathering Arena, and today we're jumping back in to Bolas. As you can see, I've been playing a lot of Muldrotha off camera. The deck's fun. The deck's a ton of fun, man. That's not to say any of the other decks I play aren't fun. If I didn't find them fun, I wouldn't play them. I'm hoping to cast some sweet Nicol Bolases now, though. Or we can just wait. Oh, cool. Match found. I don't really have a controversial topic of discussion today. Up against Aquitas? I don't know. I don't have any clue how to pronounce that. I'm going first. Cool. Tap lands. Evolving Wilds. I can cast Golden Demise. If this is another control deck, this hand is not great. If this is an aggro deck, the hand's probably fine. We even have both of our red mana early, just for whatever reason. I'll keep this. I don't think it's necessarily something we need to mulligan. I have 2 blue and 2 red. They did mulligan, which is bad for them, or unfortunate, I should say, just because they will be down on a card. But I do think it's fine here to, one, go into Evolving Wilds because it doesn't like give my opponent any information. But 2, I have the red mana that I need in this deck, right? 2 is all you really need. And then I have the blue mana, for the most part, that I need. It is tied to my red and black, so. But this way, you know, I'm able to do some very minor things. Come on. That was weird. Some very minor things that will give me help here. That said, I'm looking for... It's unlikely that I'm going to need to Golden Demise on my turn 3, just because they only have 1 creature out. So I kind of like Evolving Wilds here. The problem is I'm not sure what I need. It does technically thin the deck out by 1, and that doesn't matter too much, but it is incremental. Yeah, I'll go for it. I don't necessarily have a super rush here. So, one thing that one of the commenters said is that they would like me to have auto tap on the options here, auto tap lands, and I have a very specific reason for not having it on, and that reason is just that it's too inefficient. I watch this much more popular than myself. I mean, he's been doing it for a while. Guy Merchant, and he has auto tap on, and even in just the past few videos, it has been a detriment sometimes, and it hasn't been a huge detriment. But you know, those percentage points, they do add up, right? And before I started making videos, actually, it might have even been the tail end. I think I did start out making videos with auto tap on. The auto tapper just doesn't know how to tap lands properly. It doesn't take into account what's in your hand. So, but I mean, this is a fine Golden Demise here. Technically, it's only a 2-for-1, because they only used 2 cards and I'm using 1. But still, and I have a nice time playing this tap land. For the mono black zombies deck, maybe even for 2 colors, I might try and go back to it. But for the mono black one, I can definitely turn auto tap lands on, just because I understand it is definitely slower to tap lands individually, and it is no, and it's not like great when I do like misclick and I have to modify my lands tapped, but it's just not worth the hassle of tapping incorrectly, especially in this deck and Muldrotha. Do I counter that? I don't think I do. It's +2/+2 until end of turn. I would rather counter something more impactful. Yes. Like, if he then played Sap Daddy, then I'd counter that. But yeah, I'll take 3, sure. I'd love to draw like a Ravenous Chupacabra. Or a Champion of Wits would be nice. Essentially any gas. It's not gas. I'm incredibly offended. Blue. 3 black, 3 blue, 2 red. Yeah, plop another blue down. I mean, I could Golden Demise here. It'd essentially just be a 1-for-1. Next turn, I do have Bolas, like, guaranteed. So I think the idea here is, like... And it could be super wrong. I think I'm going to do it. I think the idea is Golden Demise here. And on their turn, essentially whatever they play, I'll likely end up countering. So that on my turn, I can Bolas, kill this, and have essentially a board free of any shenanigans. The problem with that, and I assume he's just going to eat it to gain life, which I'm fine with. The problem with that is that I don't have any good follow-up. So, yeah, sure, resolve. I don't care. Right, let's see what my opponent has here. Yeah, so I will counter that. And since he had nothing else to do last turn with 2 mana, I suspect that he has nothing to do here with 1, so... Attack me for 3, go down to 12, sure, I mean, half his life total. Let's make sure 3/6, yep, okay, so I can go ahead and cast Nicol Bolas. So here, I could theoretically, for things like these, where I just need a large chunk of mana, I could turn it on, and then just turn it back off, right? Because it isn't like actually that hard to do. So if that's a compromise that people are interested in me doing, I can do that. If I'm gonna use up all of my mana anyway, and like the color percentages don't matter too much, I can go back and forth. I don't really see that as too much of a problem. Let's see if this gets Vraska's Contempted here. We have like no follow-up, like at all. We've only had what, 4 total spells? Spore Swarm? Spore Swarm's fine. Oh, this is -4, yeah. Well, I do have another Bolas as soon as this one dies. I can exile 2 cards from his hand, but I would much rather just get sweet, sweet value. That's not sweet value at all. Still, I assume he's going to be attacking it. What? Oh. I got a little confused. I assume he's just going to be attacking into Bolas. Huh, that has a different background. Oh, I don't think I've ever ran into this. It tells you that you already have a copy of something. That's cool. I like that. I've never noticed that, but I think that's really awesome. Yeah, I mean, I assume they're just going to run their guys into Bolas to try and kill it, but they never suspect the second Bolas. that was my really bad attempt at an evil laugh. Frankly, it was garbage, and I am ashamed. Alright, sure, use a spell. Put Bolas down to 2. Oh, kill Bolas. Absolutely. Totally fine. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, bring on that damage. Just bring it on. Now, I would love to draw another card that, like, does something. Doomfall's cool. I don't have enough mana for that, right? 7, no, I don't. Darn. Because I kind of have to play Bolas here. That's the one thing about doing that, is accidentally pressing the concede button. So, like here, it leaves open mana fine, but it doesn't always. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8. So I think it's actually better for me to plus here than to kill this, because then Bolas dies anyway. So I'll go ahead and plus. And hope to get, you know, something like actually good.
You won't be needing those.
Yeah, I saw that coming. It's upside down. I still have no idea why that happens. Random upside down sagas. Maybe it's because it's... No, because it happens when they're mine too. I don't know. Yeah, alright, Bolas is going to go to 1. Unless I have like a combat trick or something. But Bolas at 1 is still a Bolas I can use. I was about to say that would be really weird if they didn't attack it. Let me draw a spell, please. I've drawn very few spells. Sure. Dude, give me an Hour of Devastation. This isn't an Hour of Devastation, but it could get me an Hour of Devastation. So that is fine. It's fine auto tap. Yeah, I'll try it. Yeah. Take action. Garbage. Are there any creatures? No, I don't even think Liliana's great here. I'm discarding this. They have one card left in their hand. I should have probably plussed Bolas first, maybe. But I think I'd get rid of Doomfall. Doomfall doesn't do a ton. Plus 2 Bolas.
You dare challenge a god?
That's a little helpful. Just because it gets me a creature and takes away a creature from them. And I'll go ahead and cast Liliana. And I don't have any creatures. So, get another zombie. Bolas is surely dead. Oh, apparently I still have one of these in the deck. I thought I got rid of all of them. That's strange. So that's not great, but I can kill some things, so. What are you casting? That's not good for me. I mean, I can just kill. No, I can't because Bolas is plus. So I mean, I'm blocking each of these because now I really want Bolas to live. And I will chunk here. And the reason I'm blocking with Champion is just because I want to get Champion out of the graveyard. So, like, if I need to draw more cards. Yep, that needs to die. Oh, cool, trample. Well, only one real thing to do here. Let's see what I get. And I can cast it until end of turn, so I don't have to do anything rash with this. I mean, sure, that's fine. It's not technically my hand. I love hand, graveyard, random exile. Good old things. Let's see. 7, so I would only have 2 mana to work with if I cast Champion of Wits. Like, if I eternalized it. But it would give me a wider selection than something like Supreme Will, and I could theoretically get something like Chupacabra would be decent. Yeah, I'll Champion of Wits. The reason why Chupacabra would be decent is because I can put it in the graveyard and use the Liliana. Oh man, that is not great. Get rid of Syncopate. And Swamp. And I'll plus Liliana. I'm taking actions. Go away. Wait, I have 2? This doesn't seem right. I'm pretty certain I got rid of both of these cards. No, I'm thinking of Muldroth the deck. Never mind, I'm crazy. I'll play a land, and theoretically I can Supreme Will something, but oh, they have to try and kill Liliana here, because I can just -7 her. So they might have to make some not great attacks, and that might help me. I would really like this not to be a one-game video. So this one, spoiler alert, might be longer than I'd like. Oh, good. If that went to 3 this turn, that would be actually dreadful. So if they cast something that I care about countering, then I can Supreme Will it. Otherwise, I'm probably going to use this to look at the top 4. What are you casting? They have 7 total attackers. And I have 4 blockers. I think that I have to counter that. Because I need to maximize my number of blockers and really force them into a position where they have to attack with more things than they'd want. Because, like, I know that they can pay for it, but by tapping 3 things to pay for it, it essentially guarantees... Oh, they only have to tap 2 things to pay for it. So it's 4. So, I mean, they're not in a great situation in that if they want to kill one of my Planeswalkers, they're not going to have a good time of it, right? Like, they're going to have to make attacks if they don't want to. If they just want to injure one, they have to attack with at least Slimefoot as well, which I think is the safe attack, and I think that's probably what they're going to do. And they're going after Bolas? What the Frankfurt? Why do you attack Bolas here? I mean... Bolas would take 8. If I kill all of their things, I'd be taking probably too much damage, and my stuff's gonna die anyway. So I think I'm killing Slimefoot, not to like protect Bolas. Like, Bolas is dead. Like, Bolas could live. Bolas could live though. I would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I want Bolas to live. So my reasoning at first was I would want not to take too much damage with Slimefoot, but I would only take 5, I think, and I'm fine taking 5 because I like have to lose Liliana here, because there's no way in heck I can let this keep happening. And I did forget Vraska's Contempt will help me get mana back, but this is essentially a -7 on Liliana. So get all of this out of here, and I will lose 5 because this is just Saprolings, right? Yeah. Cool. I mean, they're still in 4 mana. Yeah. Resolve. I could have Vraska's first, but I want to save Vraska's for a threat afterward, right? Like, if I know Slimefoot's going to die anyway, can I just like have a resolve all button, please? Or like resolve similar? Like, I've seen people lose games because they've had like a situation where they needed to resolve a bunch of stuff. All right, I guess they saw that they were essentially locked out there. I'm not entirely satisfied with my play that game. I don't think I did anything too terrible, but I feel like I could have done things better, and I'm not entirely sure if that's true or not. But we still won at the end of the day. That's what matters. Going up against Valadares. Valadares. It's this is a person who plays Hero of the Storm, and Valadares. You know, she doesn't do truth; she does dares. We are going second. We have an okay hand. The Field of Ruin is a little annoying to see early. No early game. So, like, against an aggro deck, we're just dead. Like, we just get run over. But otherwise, like, it's very difficult to try and ship this back. I guess one of the biggest things is, like, Evolving Wilds. We can't actually play on turn 1 just because we want to see what other lands we draw, but I don't think I can justify mulliganing that. And it very well may come back to bite me, but I don't think that is a correct mulligan decision. And frankly, I feel like I'm not able to Evolving Wilds on turn 2. This is mono black. Treasure map, sure. And the reason is I think I want to hold up Supreme Will. So having that second swamp means that I'm much more okay with playing Evolving Wilds here, which is great for me. Just because it essentially gets it out of the way. And I'm not going to use it just yet. I'll use it at the end of the turn. So the reason is, if this is mono black, right, the thing that kills me in the mono black matchup, yeah, resolve, I don't care, is Torment of Scarabs. And I need that to not resolve against me, like, period. Once that resolves, I have no way of dealing with it at all, I don't think. So, you know, you have to make sure you know the things in the matchup that are game enders, right? And I'm fairly certain that Torment of Scarabs on turn 4 would be an absolute game ender for me. Yes, I do notice that the game is hitchy sometimes. And it's real weird. Cool. So let's see. Blue, blue. I will go ahead and just play another blue source. I mean, I guess we have 2 black in hand and not 2 blue. So I'll just play a swamp and just end turn here. Then yeah, if our opponent tries to Scarab God, torment me, which they won't because of this, then I could have just countered it. But yeah, draw a card. That's fine. They're just using treasure map right now to get some value. So I don't necessarily have anything I want to do on turn 4. So I'm pretty sure I don't actually need to Supreme Will now. That's a good card, but again, I don't think I can just play it. The reason being entirely resolved. Torment of Scarabs is dead, or yeah, like it's me dead. So I'm pretty sure I let them pop their treasure map. I can even Field of Ruin it, right? Like, yep, sure. They will get the treasure map. I should have played Field of Ruin. Let's see, 2. So I would have had. Yeah, I should have played Field of Ruin. Just so I can do that at the end of their turn and still have like the mana I want up. So that was absolutely a misplay on my part. Should have absolutely played Field of Ruin first. Notably, they don't have Duress. I mean, they probably take Supreme Will? Maybe they take Vraska's? I could counter this just to counter it. Or just like to make them use mana. Because like the thing, right, is if I don't counter this, they take it, like almost certainly. And then they play like Torment anyway, so I think I do want to counter it. And that again, could be wrong. But I would much rather them lose it. And I think they're just going to let it get, yeah, they're going to let it get destroyed, and then they're going to play Torment of Scarabs. Now you might be saying, well, couldn't you let them, see, if that's what their plan is, their plan anyway. So yeah, no, I think it was actually incorrect. Karn, oh, Karn, I don't care. Yeah, so they didn't see that I have Vraska's Contempt. And they're using some of their treasures, which makes this card a lot less of an instant need answer. So hopefully this just gets a land. It did get a land. So I'll go ahead and get rid of, give them that, and then I can just exile this on my turn. Well, you don't want to let it get to their turn, because I wouldn't want them to get that out of exile. Notably, I don't have double red. Man. My opponent might just be greedy and plus again. But because if I don't need to use Vraska's, I don't want to use Vraska's yet. I would rather like Supreme Will into more cards. Man, this mono black is tough for me to beat. They have 4 cards in hand. I gave them a thing, so I don't know anything in hand. This only has 3 swamps, so this card is still not even good. Even on a 4th swamp, I think it just breaks even, right? Because it costs 4 total to tap, yeah. So this card doesn't matter until he hits 5, and even then it's only just a net plus of 1. When I go silent like this, I'm doing like stupid math that I'm not able to, not like real math, like logic math, that I'm not able to put in words very well. I believe it is correct to end the turn. And that's anathema to what I said earlier about not wanting them to untap. But with Karn specifically, like, I'm thinking that they're going to just +1 again. And the chances of me having a choice that is awful is relatively low. And them getting back the Eldest Reborn isn't terrible. It's obviously not good for me, but it isn't terrible. Because they might fire it off earlier than they should. Supreme Will essentially is no longer a counterspell just because of the amount of mana they have up. They could easily just play Torment of Scarabs and pay for it. Not necessarily that they have it, of course. The deck might not even run it. And even if it did, isn't guaranteed that they have it in hand. But control matchups are probably the most decision-intensive games. Let's see what my opponent is doing. It's possible that they're disconnected, which would be incredibly unfortunate, not only for the video length, but also because it's not the best way to win. It looks like they may have disconnected. Well, that's okay. Let's see. It's a fun Magic-related topic to discuss. Reserve list is way too controversial. Favorite format? I played too many formats. I want to say, like, be super cheeky and say vintage. Not even because, like, I play vintage in real life, because I don't, you know, like, being a college student, I don't actually... I didn't have money being a college student after I graduated. It's not like I had any more money. Hey, they're back. They looked at Field of Ruin. But, like, vintage is, like, cool. I have actually done, like, testing. Hey, they did plus. Thank you. I actually have done testing on, you know, magic things. Ooh. 4, 5, 6. So if they wouldn't have 4, 5, 6. So they would not have mana to pay for Bells and Luck. So as stupid as it is, I think I'm going to give them Bells and Luck in the hopes that they just cast it. Yeah, beep beep, shut up. Interesting. Sure. Have I been missing land drops? I must have. He went first with 7 mana. Oh no, this flipped. It's possible that I've missed like 1, but I don't think so. Is this actually just like turn 5? I don't know. I guess turn 6 for him. Interesting. So Tetsamok gets like no value, and I can just Chupacabra that. Or I could Vraska's at end of turn. But I'll probably end up Vraska Karn. And then the argument's like, why wouldn't you just Vraska in their turn? Oh man, this game is getting away from me. The Hour of Devastations have not been great. Those are cards that I'm probably going to look to cut, even though they have the Nicol Bolas. So I really don't want to cast Supreme Will, because I want to be able to do that. Like, this is going, like, I have things I want to do at Sorcerer Speed, and then things I want to do at Instant Speed, and those things are clashing right now. It's absolutely terrible, but I think I'm going to... So, like, see, it didn't tap Field of Ruin. Like, obviously it doesn't actually matter right now, but, like, why would it not tap Field of Ruin? Oh, that Essence Scatter is fantastic. The reason that Essence Scatter is fantastic is because it allows me to do something instant speed. Use the Field of Ruin, you stupid bastard. I'm sorry for my language. But man, that's why I don't like auto tap. Like, it refuses to use colorless lands for some reason. Like, I wouldn't have the mana to activate this, so it should have no reason not to do that. I'm probably going to get rid of Hour of Devastation here. Cool, Hour of Devastation's gone. I definitely want to keep... I really want to keep that other Vraska's Contempt. Maybe I get rid of Chupacabra? Because I have Scarab God to get it back? Because I'm definitely playing the island. So I think I do get rid of Chupacabra, just because I have Scarab God, and then I can play the island, and then my opponent's... I don't know, I'm going to get done for, like... No, I can just jump lock, I don't care about jumping here. My opponent casts Bells and Lock, I can counter it with maybe Supreme Will. It's possible I should actually just counter it with Essence Scatter because this only hits creatures, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I mean, he has like a bunch of Cabal Strongholds and they still just break even, like, on mana, so I still don't have to care about that. Now, once he gets that 5th Swamp out, then it'll be a problem. Yeah, very, very curious. Yeah, sorry everyone, this is going to be a very long video. Could I have cut it off after one game? Yes. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to give people just one game. If there's like a game that lasts like 30 minutes, I'm just cutting it off at one game, but I don't want to. I like having a variety. So let's see what my opponent is going to do. Four mana. You gonna Vraska's that? Sure. I mean, I lose value out the back end, but I don't care. Does that leave Scarab God alive? Unless, of course, they have a second one. I can't really do anything about that. Down to 16. Oh, that was a bad stutter. I'm gonna go ahead and cast this. Liliana seems like a good card. So I'm going to take Liliana. Because I can Liliana out the Chupacabra. Ooh, and I got another land. Which means I can Liliana and have Essence Scatter up. Yes, this is fine. So I can -3, get the Chupacabra, kill his Tetsamok.
Apologies for the smell.
Next turn, when he tries to cast, Trust Against Bells and Lock, I can just say no. Problem is, it's going to take me forever to take this game back. But once I get up to 9 mana, which isn't too long, I can Scarab God and just take his Bells and Lock. So let's see, does he draw a Swamp? Doesn't look like it. Five mana. I think he's trying to figure out like why it's not doing this. Maybe? I don't know. I haven't played with this card, so I don't know how the prompts work on it. 6 mana, Bells and Lock. Do it, cast it. I mean, he's like looking at it. So. Hey, look, it's Bells and Luck. No. And this does another thing is that it helps our Liliana start plussing and things. And I don't want to Scarab God yet. I'm pretty sure I do just want to play this. 2, 4, yeah. I'm fairly certain I do just want to play this. Plus Liliana. I'd love to get a Champion of Wits in there. I think I'm running 3 right now, so.
I prefer friends in love.
Put in a Syncopate and a Highland Lake. That is fine. My opponent is only on 4 mana, but only on 4 cards in hand. But it's too possible that they have another Vraska's Contempt. And Scarab God is like the way I win this game, right? It's the way I come back. So, essentially any threat, if they have another Bells and Lock, it doesn't mean that they're going to be able to draw the cards. But essentially any other threat, Planeswalker or creature, I'm going to be able to answer. If they have an enchantment that I don't like, it's going to be difficult to deal with. They do now have 5 swamps, so they have a ton of black mana to use. But, you know, what exactly they are going to do with that mana, I'm unsure. That's absolutely fine. Your lands aren't going to untap, which means Scarab God is much more likely for me to be able to actively use. So I'm totally fine with that. That was essentially just killing tutus. Sure, 7 mana. Now tap the rest. Yeah, I mean, that's bad. I could have... No, there's no point where I could have used Field of Ruin to do anything, like, good. Yeah, alright, Liliana's going. That's fine. Bye-bye, Liliana. But yeah, he is going to only have 2 mana next turn. Maybe 3, which means Scarab God should be fine. And I do have a nice... Do I want to use Field of Ruin? Just to get rid of one of his Cabal Strongholds. No. Would that be a net? I feel like that would be a net gain of mana for him, actually. Because he would get another swamp. He'd be at 6 swamps. So each of these would be producing, what, 3? And right now it's like total producing 3? I'm not sure. I don't want to, like, waste too much time in the video and come to the incorrect conclusion. Resolve. Discard this. He only has 2, maybe 3 lands. Sure. So, theoretically, I will start being able to just accrue an absolutely insane amount of value. And what I can do is, because this targets... Well, I guess the idea is, put target creature or planeswalker. Yeah, I guess the idea there is they're probably going to end up targeting my, my planeswalker. Yeah, they'll probably end up targeting Liliana, is my guess. But if he targets one of his creatures, then I can just steal it. That's why I'm not going to do this yet. And I do have 2 activations, so... I don't trust this. I put on control mode. Full control mode, because I don't trust my ability to interact with Eldritch Reborn. And it looks like he's looking through his graveyard right now. What's he targeting? He's targeting Bells and Lock, it looks like. Yeah, cool. So that's exactly why I ended up waiting. And I got a Nicol Bolas out of it. That's backbreaking. That's absolutely backbreaking for him. Because now he gets nothing, right? I'm pretty sure the correct play for him was to get my Liliana. Sure. I mean, he has a ton of black mana, but at only 2 lands, or only 2 cards, I don't see what it can do. He might have the Torment of Scarab, not Torment, Hailfire Torment of Hail. Something, the one with X, and that would be awful, and possibly kill me with this amount of mana. He might just be waiting for me to concede, thinking that he has that. I mean, I assume his deck runs it. Whether or not he has it right now is up for debate. Is there any other? No. Yeah, I mean that's for a lot. I'm just going to activate this now, just to have another thing to sacrifice. So I'm probably going to have to, let's see. So I'm going to lose 3, a lot. I can also, like, discard 2 Magma Sprays. Second on permanent. Don't really need Bells and Lock anymore either. I'll sack Scarab God as well. Let's see. There's 3. There's 3. No, I have to discard. Yeah, I have no idea how many this is. It might just be lethal. Damn. Yeah, I mean that was a ton. That's really unfortunate. There's not really anything I could have done about that. If he didn't have exactly that, I think I would have pretty handily won that game. Apologies that the video went so long. But, you know, control mirrors, not mirrors, but control matchups, that's kind of what happens. Let me know if you liked the video. Let me know if you want me to keep full control mode. There are just times where it just bugs me, like the fact that I won't tap Field of Ruin, even though I won't have the mana to use it, is just ridiculous in my eyes. But, you know, tap that like button, add a subscription to your mana pool, and cast a comment to the comment sections down below. And until next time, I'll be one.